Natalia, how are you? So, in this virtual lesson, I'm going to talk about the different types of English tests you can use to certificate your English level. So right here, I have two different kinds of tests, the national tests and the international tests. In the first hand, we have the national tests that are used here in Colombia. For example, to apply for a master here in Colombia or for a PhD here in Colombia. In the first place, we have the MET. It is one of the most popular, the MET. Its official name is the Michigan English Test. You can present it here in Manizales at the Colombo Manizales. Right here you can find more information about that test, and it costs this amount of money in Colombian pesos. In the second hand, we have the aptis. That aptis you can present it at the British here in Manizales in front of the Catedral de Manizales. This is the amount of money you have to pay to present that exam. And in the third place, we have the TOEFL IBT, which is very popular. It's very important to have that certificate to apply here in Colombia for any purpose. And its official name, it's internet-based test. For example, if you go to if you want to present this test, you can do it here at the college university, and you go to present it, but you have to present that test on a computer. It is not with paper, so it's internet-based test. You can find more information right here, and that test is a little bit more expensive. Okay, and then we have the international tests. In the international tests, we have two options. The most popular option is the TOEFL ITP, which is the International Testing Program. This test is used to apply for an international university and also to a scholarship, para una beca. This one is very expensive, and you can present it in Pereira, I think. And in the last part, we have the IELTS, which is the International English Language Testing System. It is also very expensive, and you can present it in Pereira. This test is used in the United States, and this test is used in Europe, England, and in Germany, well, those countries. To present these tests, you have to take into account the English level. For example, as you already know, there is the basic, intermediate, and advanced level. To apply for an international university, you have to have a B2 or C1 level. Okay, so now let's talk about, in this lesson I'm going to talk about the TOEFL ITP test, which is the most popular and the most important to apply for an international university. So right here we have the TOEFL scores you have to get to have that certificate. So right here we have the 4 skills, which are reading, listening, speaking, and writing. Every single skill is pointed from 0 to 30, and to have a really good score, you have to have the high intermediate level. For example, you have to have from 18 to 23 points to get like the scale approved. and the same with the others. This one, and this one. Okay, so those are the maximum points you can get to get a C2 level, and the minimum points you have to get to get the B2 level. Okay, so this is the TOEFL. I'm sorry. This is the TOEFL ITP structure. So take into account this. The TOEFL ITP structure just evaluates three parts, three skills. Those are the skills. The first skill is going to be the listening comprehension. Listening. The second part, we have the structure and reading expression. What is that? In common words, that is grammar. And the third part is reading comprehension. Okay, and there's no more. That's it. That's it. So, in the first part, which is listening comprehension, you are going to have two different levels. The first level, they are going to make you 50 questions. You have to answer them in 35 minutes. So you have to listen to a conversation the last 2 minutes, and based on that conversation you were listening, you have to answer 4 questions. 4 questions to the same listening. Okay, so you have to pay a lot of attention to catch as much information as you can, and the questions can be general or specific. General or specific. So when you listen to a conversation, they are going to ask you questions like this: what are the two women discussing? Or maybe it can be, how does the man feel about the news? Or maybe it can be, what type of craft is not mentioned? Or maybe a question like this: what could Sarah do in the near future? Those are an example of questions they can make you to answer a listening comprehension test. In the second part, we have level 2, where they are going to make you 30 questions and you have to answer them in 22 minutes. So listen. You have to listen to different listenings. When you are going to answer, you have to make a contrast between those listenings. So you have like to miss them to answer the question. And those questions can be very general or very specific. So right here I have 4 examples of questions that they can make you. For example, what is the speaker's main point? Or also, in what century did this practice start? Or maybe what about, what other term is used to refer to something else? What physical reason is mentioned? Okay, so those are examples of questions they can make you. Okay, in the second part we have structure and reading expression. So in the first part we are going to make you 40 questions. Hola, espere. Ya voy. Espera que estoy grabando un video. We are going to make you 40 questions, and you have a multiple choice to answer. You have 25 minutes to answer these 40 questions. So as you already know, these questions are structure based or grammar. So right here I have an example. Learning a foreign language. A. Improves. B. To improve. C. Improving. D. Is improved. Long-term memory. Which is the correct answer? The correct answer is improves, because in this part you have to use the present simple tense. Okay. In the second part we have level 2, where they are going to ask you 25 questions, and it is multiple choice answer. You have 17 minutes to answer them. Those are questions of an expression. Every single question has 4 words or a group of words that you have to choose. For example, but just one of those 4 options is a mistake, is incorrect. So you have to erase that part from the sentence. For example, we have this one. It says, Dale wrote a series of short stories characterized by unexpectedly turns and ironic endings. The incorrect part is this one. Because this is an adverbial, and you can use an adverb before a preposition. Okay. In the last part we have the reading comprehension, and in the reading comprehension you have to read a passage between 15 and 25 lines. Based on that passage, you have to answer 10 questions, and the answers can be general or very specific. For example, we have, what is the main idea of the passage? What is the past title for this passage? All the following are true except. Another example is, in line 8, the author uses the expression X to indicate that. And finally we have, which of the following is not true? Okay, and in the second part we have level 2, where the questions are divided into parts: vocabulary and comprehension, reading comprehension. Okay, so in the first part, well, you are going to read a passage, and there are going to be underlined words. You have to replace a word, so you can find like a synonym or an antonym of that underlying word. Okay, and in the second part it's very simple. It's reading comprehension. You read the passage, and then you have to answer questions based on the reading. Okay, so I have